Welcome to the Wonder Box, your portal to exploring the fascinating and intricate stories from history. Today, we journey back to 1660, a year that marked a pivotal moment in the world of scientific inquiry. It was a time of great change, a time when the old ways of thinking were being challenged and new ideas were emerging. The founding of the Royal Society in London would soon become a cornerstone of this intellectual renaissance. Picture England in the mid-17th century. The aftermath of the English Civil War had left society in turmoil, yet it sparked a thirst for knowledge and a desire to understand the natural world. Intellectuals were seeking new frameworks and methods to explain the mysteries surrounding them. In this context, a group of thinkers began meeting discreetly, fueled by curiosity and a profound belief in the power of observation and experimentation. Among them were remarkable figures such as Christopher Wren, Robert Boyle, and John Wilkins. These men, along with others, gathered to discuss their findings and share their insights, laying the groundwork for something more significant. It was on July 15, 1660, that the Royal Society of London for Improving Natural Knowledge was formally established. But what motivated these individuals to form such an organization? At its heart, the Royal Society sought to unite the fragmented world of scientific inquiry. During this time, the scientific thinking that had been brewing was often isolated within universities or confined to the minds of a few brilliant individuals. The Royal Society aimed to provide a platform where ideas could be freely exchanged and tested. Imagine walking into a meeting of the Royal Society. Scholars and gentlemen gathered around a table, eager to share their observations on the world around them. The excitement in the air was palpable as they discussed everything from astronomy to chemistry. Their willingness to collaborate marked a significant departure from the traditions of the past, where knowledge was often guarded by the elite. In a world where alchemy was prevalent, the society began to advocate for a more empirical approach to science. Rather than relying solely on ancient texts and philosophical musings, they pushed for experimentation and observation as the cornerstone of scientific inquiry. This new methodology would soon give rise to profound discoveries that would reshape humanity's understanding of the natural world. Word spread of the Society's focus on experimental science, attracting a diverse group of thinkers, many of whom were pioneers in their own fields. Among the early members was Robert Hooke, a polymath whose curiosity knew no bounds. His work, Micrographia, published in 1665, introduced the public to the fascinating world of microscopic life. Hooke's meticulous observations and stunning illustrations captivated audiences, inspiring further exploration and scientific curiosity. The Royal Society thrived on this eagerness for discovery. It established a fellowship meant to gather the brightest minds of the time, regardless of their societal class or background. The Society became a melting pot of ideas, where the likes of Sir Isaac Newton, Edmund Halley, and Antony van Leeuwenhoek would later continue their groundbreaking work. Through letters, discussions, and presentations, knowledge flowed freely within this intellectual assembly. They published a journal, Philosophical Transactions, which became one of the world's first scientific journals, allowing them to disseminate their findings to a broader audience. This commitment to communication and publication would prove instrumental in the advancement of science. As the Society gained recognition, it would influence other scientific organizations across Europe and inspire the formation of institutions dedicated to scientific research. Now let's explore some of the Society's key accomplishments that not only highlighted their innovative spirit, but also transformed the landscape of scientific thought. The Royal Society played a pivotal role in the development of the scientific method, a framework for experimentation that became essential for future scientific endeavors. Members began to emphasize the importance of reproducibility and the verification of data, which transformed how research was conducted. This period also saw the novel exploration of electricity, with figures like William Gilbert studying magnetism and electricity and laying down the foundations for future discoveries in the field. In 1668, the Royal Society witnessed one of its hallmark achievements when it hosted the first ever experiment in atmospheric pressure by Robert Boyle and his assistant, Robert Hooke. This iconic demonstration involved the use of a vacuum pump and a glass tube filled with mercury. What they discovered changed humanity's understanding of the very nature of air and laid the groundwork for modern chemistry. As the society continued to flourish, it welcomed international members, spreading its influence beyond the borders of England. This openness to collaboration meant that scholars from different countries could contribute their ideas and research, promoting a truly global dialogue. Imagine missing out on the brilliance of thinkers like Galileo or Descartes simply because they were not part of local discussions. The Royal Society dismantled those barriers, paving the way for the Enlightenment. As the 17th century gave way to the 18th, the Society remained at the forefront of intellectual discourse. Members explored diverse fields, including botany, geology, and physics. The emphasis on observational data and diligent experimentation resonated particularly well during this era, where ancient philosophies were increasingly questioned. One of the most significant developments brought forth by the Society was the meticulous study of the natural world and its cycles. The emphasis on meticulous observations propelled thinkers like Carl Linnaeus to classify living organisms systematically. The Royal Society not only cited the importance of scientific inquiry, but also recognized the necessity of sharing knowledge with the broader public. As members began to organize educational lectures, science transitioned from being an isolated endeavor to one accessible to everyday people. This commitment to public education displayed a genuine desire to ignite curiosity in future generations. The Society encouraged amateur scientists and enthusiasts, advocating that anyone could contribute to the advancement of knowledge. The spirit of collaboration and inclusivity fostered innovation, leading to unprecedented advancements. In 1710, the Royal Society further established its commitment to scientific inquiry by sponsoring expeditions and explorations in search of new knowledge. These expeditions opened up new frontiers as researchers ventured into unknown territories, documenting their findings. As time passed, the role of the Royal Society crystallized as an influential advocate for scientific inquiry and empirical research. It served as a bridge between the scientific community and the political realm, influencing policy and decisions through the rigorous examination of evidence. The Society's work wasn't limited to scientific inquiry alone. It also played a critical role in promoting public health and hygiene. During an era of rampant disease and limited medical understanding, the Society would initiate discussions on improving sanitary conditions, paving the way for future public health initiatives. By the time the 18th century blossomed into the 19th, the Royal Society had firmly established itself as a pillar of the scientific community. From the foundational principles of experimentation to the cultivation of curiosity in the masses, it had transformed the landscape of science forever. Pioneering scientists like Charles Darwin, who would later formulate theories on evolution, drew inspiration from the environment that the Royal Society fostered. As we conclude this exploration into the founding of the Royal Society, it becomes clear that this institution was not merely a reaction to change. It was an embodiment of a new way of thinking, one that valued evidence, discourse, and the relentless pursuit of understanding. The echoes of the Society's founding continue to resonate in our world today. Its legacy reminds us that the pursuit of knowledge knows no bounds and lies within the grasp of anyone willing to ask questions. The Royal Society became a symbol of the Enlightenment, a beacon that guided humanity towards reason and rational thought. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the intriguing history of the Royal Society, consider joining us for our next journey. We invite you to like and subscribe to the Wonderbox as we continue to unravel more captivating stories from the annals of time. Your support empowers us to keep bringing history to life. Thank you for exploring this incredible tale with us today. Until next time, keep questioning the world around you and seeking knowledge wherever it takes you. Be sure to join us again soon for more historical wonders here at the Wonderbox.